Guys, it's your boy Kyle Gray here with day number 46 of the 111 days Raise Your Vibration Challenge from my book Raise Your Vibration. And we're still working on the throat area and the throat chakra and all that that represents. And one of the things that I've really discovered is that these lessons are not just about speaking our truth, they're also about allowing our truth to lead us. And, you know, truth is such an important aspect of our life and an important aspect of our development. And in order for us to really develop a consistent, loving relationship where we are supported by the universe, we have to constantly align ourselves with integrity and make sure that every single move and every single decision that we are working with, we are moving from integrity. Now, I am someone who works in the spiritual realm, and I am often told by many people who come to my talks or people who come to meet me or whatever, that I'm often very curt or I'm often very sharp with my honesty. And it's one of the things that I've discovered is that it's not an insult and it's not an attack. Honesty for many people can be quite shattering, especially if they have an expectation of you or they're expecting you to say yes to something. Whereas one of my, commitments to myself and my self-care has always been come from a state of integrity, come from a place of honesty. And sometimes that will therefore make me the big bad wolf. And, as many of you guys know, I'm obsessed with wolves and foxes. So I don't mind being the big bad wolf every now and then, because I often realize that that's not really my issue. It's often maybe where it's directing to. And so I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I was speaking at an event in the States, and a woman came rushing right up to me. And I love to greet people coming into my talks. I can do it. I think it's a really nice way. I can get there early, stand at the door and welcome everyone as they come in. But I never take photographs with anyone, and I never sign any books at that point, because I like to greet everyone as equals. So therefore, if I start taking photos and signing books, therefore I can welcome who's coming in. And I always have like aura sprays and making the room smell nice and asking people if they want to spray it before they come in. Can you see that just go past there? Look at that. Something's happening. Anyway, so that's weird. So what I was going to say was, I recently had this moment where a woman came rushing right up and she says, "I need a picture with you." And I was like, "I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to do that because I don't like to treat everyone as equals. And if I say yes to you, that means I also have to say yes to these other 500 people." And I remember just being really honest about it, and then came back to my Facebook page later that day, and the person had written this comment saying that I was very curt and harsh the way I came across. And one of the things I replied, obviously, I said, maybe this is a lesson not to have so many expectations of people. Maybe this is a lesson of realizing that no is also an answer. And, that's something I really live by, that often we have to be very truthful, and often we will say no. And people, especially if you're in the spiritual realm, people always expect you to be cool and collected, which is often where we stand, but often we can get frustrated too. And often we can have an expectation to be loving and gentle, but that's not my way. Like, I'm not the Zen guy. I'm not the calm guy. I leave that to other people. I'm the guy that's very honest, and I'm the guy that has fire in his belly and who is not afraid to use it. And so today's lesson, vibe number 46, is about allowing your truth to lead you. And this is a quote that I say to myself all the time: "My truth is my teacher." So here's the lesson. It's not always easy to say what you want to say, especially if you're worried you're going to upset someone or let them down. Speaking your truth, either by doing something you know you need to do, revealing information to set yourself free, or telling someone how you really feel, is a huge spiritual lesson. It's the moment you step into your power and allow your spiritual energy to expand. When you don't follow your truth, you put massive roadblocks on your path. Truth is a great teacher because it allows you to move into a place of deep spiritual integrity where you honor and love yourself enough to admit what you really need to admit. If you know you are at a point where you have something to say to another person or to your company or whatever, it's time to make some space in your life by speaking your truth. If you're worried about what's going to happen next, then you must know that the universe always has a better plan for you. And in order to take the next step, you must take the first one. No one said that this path was easy, right? But this is the lifetime in which you chose to up your spiritual connection and raise your vibration. And to do that, you have to be honest with yourself and everyone around you. And so sometimes that says, no, I can't do that for you because I am honoring myself. In order to speak your truth to the world with clarity, integrity, and grace, it's important to have a loving conversation with yourself. Tell yourself that everything's going to be totally cool and that you have more than enough support around you to make this decision. Remind yourself to speak your truth in a loving way. This honors the other person too by giving them the truth about a situation. Tell yourself that you are more than good enough. Tell yourself that you are a divine light and that you've made all your past decisions based upon the information, awareness, and intelligence you had at the time. You know that's true. Tell yourself that when you open up on an honest level, you will be liberated. So today, after this video finishes, I invite you to close your eyes, breathe, and have a loving conversation with yourself and tell yourself what you really need to tell yourself and admit what you really need to admit within, because this will restore your power rather than allowing it to leak away from you. You were not born to suffer. You were not born to go through experiences of harshness. You are here to be liberated and experience freedom. Now today I invite you to let your truth be your teacher. Namaste.